happen for a reason. Things happen for a reason. Try to live in the moment, know this is where we belong. Try to clear our busy head, try to stay strong. Things happen for a reason, every time or place. Things happen for a reason, inside there is a space. This time has a purpose, there's nothing that love can't face. Just know that we are one, and know that we are love. Love swirls around on the inside, overflows out of our hands. When we're not sure what we become, love's the connection that makes us one. There can always be tough times in our own world or place, but take time to realize we are the ones who are blessed. Things happen for a reason, be grateful for who you are. Things happen for a reason, don't ever stray too far. This time has a purpose, there's nothing that love can't face. Just know that we are one, and know that we are love. Love swirls around on the inside, overflows out of our hands. When we're not sure what we become, love's the connection that makes us one. When we're lost and scared, feel like no one is there. When we need someone to show us there's love. When we're lost and scared, feel like no one is there. When we need someone to show us there's love. Things happen for a reason. Love swirls around, overflows out. When we're not sure what we've become, love's the connection. Love swirls around on the inside, overflows out of our hands. When we're not sure what we become, love's the connection that makes us one. Love's the connection that makes us one.
I've walked through this life on the safe side of the road. I've charted each step and measured each load. I've tried to be humble, take less than I give, but by hiding in shadows, I forgot to really live. I choose to be real, have the courage to feel. I will not hide my inner being. I choose to be true, let my inner light shine on through. Seeing is believing, and even if I stumble somewhere in the deal right now, I choose to be transparently real. can be messy, causing pain, there is no doubt. One moment embrace you, and the next one kick you out. At times it is tempting to hide from it all, but the gift that we carry isn't shared by living small. I choose to be real, have the courage to feel. I will not hide my inner being. I choose to be true, let my inner light shine on through. Seeing is believing, and even if I stumble somewhere in the deal right now, I choose to be transparently real. Throughout every land, let's all take a stand and shout out from the mountain tops that this is who I am, and love makes us feel, and love lets us heal. Oh Lord, help us live transparently real. And even if I stumble somewhere in the deal, I know I can live transparently real.
Good morning and welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Maxine Kaye, and I have the great privilege of being the spiritual leader of this beloved community. So wherever you are in the world, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, I welcome you, we welcome you, and I'm so glad, so very, very grateful that you're with us this morning from wherever you may be. And of course, you all set your clocks ahead last night before you went to bed, so we're all together now. And if that didn't happen, well, you can always look at this later on the website. We are a wonderful community of like-minded people. By like-minded, I mean that we all have the same intention to remember that the presence of God is everywhere. All peaceful, all powerful, all loving, and all wise, and it resides within each and every one of us. Now, having that common belief, there's always room for other ideas, and we welcome everybody's particular perspective on life. That's one of the great things about this teaching, isn't it? Is that we can understand that we are all connected with the divine source, all connected with each other, and we have plenty of freedom to live and breathe and believe as we choose. We love that. So thanks for being with us today. This is a place where we hold each other tenderly in love. We walk together in infinite wisdom. We give thanks for the ability to let God be God in us. Ooh, what a saying. Yes, I didn't make it up. Meister Eckhart did. Let God be God in us. That's what we're here to do. So thank you for being here. We do know that we are working together to create a world that works for everyone, to create a world that works for all. How do we do that? We utilize spiritual tools and apply them to every imaginable human experience. Oh, how wonderful to be able to touch in to this power that Ernest Holmes, our founder, referred to with every talk he ever gave. In person, on the radio, on television, he would begin with, "There is a power for good in the universe, greater than you are, and you can use it." We are utilizing it mightily right now in order to lift the consciousness of humanity and make a difference in this world. And we are all about awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. What beautiful vision and mission we have. Won't you join us in knowing the truth that not only sets us free, but keeps us free. We also have a wonderful, powerful statement. It's our purpose statement. And I invite you to say it with me if you care to. Are you ready? Living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. And now let's have our opening song by Stowe Daly. It is Wake Up!
Stop the clock from ringing, hit the floor, the door, it's raining, oh, it's just another day, another day. Get to work and hurry, if you can't play or pray, don't worry, 'cause there'll be another day. Will there be another day? Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up. Don't you see that you're asleep? Wake up, wake up, wake up, and be who you were meant to be. Yeah. Reflect in the mirror, is the future any clearer, or have you just closed your eyes? Just close your eyes and hear the voice inside you, still the will and let it guide you. Oh, you know it's not too late. Oh, it's not too late. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Don't you see that you're asleep? Wake up, wake up, wake up, and be who you were meant to be. Yeah. Beyond the watercolored blue, across the river, someone's calling you. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Don't you see that you're asleep? Wake up, wake up, wake up, and be who you were meant to be. You were meant to be. Oh, you were meant to be. Be who you were meant to be.
Thank you, Stowe. That was wonderful, and especially knowing that that song and that celebration was a very personal one for her. It was after she had come through a transformative experience, and I love it when people share their transformative experiences with us. Well, can I speak to the kids for a minute, please? Hello, good morning. Did you set your clock ahead last night? Did you get up at the time you thought, or are you still asleep? Well, I will speak loudly, so if you're still asleep, you can wake up. Okay, what do you think I have here? I don't think that you can see it from there, so I'll simply explain it to you. Maybe I'll hold it this way. Can you see that, maybe? It's an acorn. An acorn. You know what's inside of here, don't you? What is inside of the acorn but a giant oak tree already there? You might say in imagination, but it's quite real, because everything that is required to build that oak tree, to grow that giant oak, is already contained within this tiny little acorn. Wow. Now that's kind of an amazing thing, isn't it? You see, there's this great, wise, loving energy that created this universe and continues to sustain it, continues to keep it and maintain it. This little acorn reminds us that within us, there's also this infinite possibility that is fired by love, powered by the infinite love of God, that makes everything possible, no matter how it looks. This looks like it's just a tiny little acorn, like it's limited in size and scope, but it is not. It's like the seed idea that we have in our minds when we're planting something new and beautiful and wonderful, especially if things aren't looking so beautiful and wonderful around us. So we have an opportunity to invite this loving energy within us to move through us and to do amazing things. Do you remember the story about Alice in Wonderland? Of course you do. And remember the time that she was having a conversation with the Queen? And Alice says, "There's no use in trying. One cannot believe in impossible things." And the Queen says, "I dare say you haven't had much practice. When I was your age, I did it for half an hour a day. Why, sometimes I've even believed in 6 impossible things before breakfast. Now, if you and I began believing in 6 or 5 or 4, or maybe even 1 impossible thing before breakfast, we would be opening up our minds and our hearts to let this loving presence, wise and wonderful presence of God, work through us, give us great imaginative ideas, and like the oak that is already in this acorn, they would begin to be realized in our lives. So let's start now. Okay, that was good to be with you today. And now, I think it might be time for us to enter into a meditation. Yes? Wonderful. All right, let's take in a deep, holy breath. And as we breathe in, we know we're breathing in love. And as we exhale, we're sharing that love with everything and everyone around us. This is the one love, the one presence, the one divine activity of spirit. It is the essence and the activity. That's what love is. That's what's breathing us right now as we enter more deeply into this sense of aliveness, opportunities, possibilities beyond what we have been seeing. So let's take a moment and through soft eyes, glance upon the world, allow ourselves in this moment to feel our human feelings as we see what is calling us to prayer. Allow our hearts to open with compassion. Allow the infinite presence of God's love to fill us so completely that we begin to see with the eye of the heart, which indeed is the eye of love, and we allow our spiritual essence to transform any fears, any concerns, any reactions. We allow God's love moving through us continuously, gently, and powerfully to transform within our own consciousness fear to faith, anger to understanding, love prevails. For love is the greatest power in the universe. Here and now it is fully present. So as our hearts are filled to overflowing with divine love and compassion, let's allow that love to fill our entire bodies, our consciousness in which our bodies reside. Let that love move out into the room wherever you are. Everything is lifted. Everything is healed. The nurturing presence of divine love instantly does its perfect work. Let the love move out now into your community. Touching, blessing, healing, lifting, transforming. Healing hearts, clarifying minds, lifting consciousness. Let that love move out. Let it begin moving out into the world itself. Healing, touching, blessing, illuminating, transforming. For the power of love is greater than any love of power. It is, even this instant, doing its miraculous work everywhere. It is as if the entire world is being held tenderly and powerfully in a divine embrace. So let us turn even more deeply within, into the sacred silence, beholding the world in its transformative state being held so tenderly and so powerfully in the divine embrace. It is real. It is occurring now within our own hearts and in the world itself. So as we slowly bring our attention back to the presence of divine love within our own hearts, what we feel is peace. What we experience is faith in the love that grows, expands, and heals now. All is well. All is well. On the deepest, deepest level of humanity, all is well. For love goes before us, and it is making all the crooked places straight. Now I'll invite our beloved practitioner, Georgiana Gord, to open us with a spiritual mind treatment. Beautiful words.
Good morning. My name is Georgiana Gord, and I'm a practitioner for the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. Dr. Maxine's theme today is Let Love Wake You Gently. And I found this great quote by Rumi that really parallels what the theme is for today's service. The awakening does not come to you, you find it in you. The awakening does not come to you, you find it in you. So please join me as I state our opening treatment, which is our affirmative prayer, to start our Sunday off. Please follow me as you choose, I will be treating in the first person. I know there's only one life, one love, it's everywhere present. And this is the magnificent awakening of life. And the awakening of life is filled with the magnificence of God. And it's right here, right where I am. And I am awakened to and opened to the power of God that lives through and by means of me. And it does this as peace and joy and harmony and wisdom. All of these magnificent qualities and so much more is the truth that sets me free. And I lean into the opportunity to awaken and reawaken and to continue to awaken to this power of God, this holy essence that's right where I am. And then right where I am, God is, and God is right where Dr. Maxine and all the support individuals that made today happen. I am so grateful for the activity of all seen and unseen and the awakening that everybody gathered together to be in today's service. So thank you, Mother, Father, God, for the awakening right where I am. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for the awakening that is all around us and lives through and by means of us. I know this to be the truth as I release this into the law, knowing it is received, acted upon, and done, and so it is.
Thank you, Georgie. That was lovely, and you certainly are one of the support people that make today happen. Will you join with me, all of you, if you wish to, in speaking our affirmation for the day? I invite the Holy Presence to open my consciousness to my authentic self, gently and gracefully embodying a wonderful life. Well, we continue with this wonderful month of March. Of course, our theme, our Centers for Spiritual Living theme for the year of 2022 is Living Everyday Wonder. And the month of March we have dedicated to Awaken Thou That Sleepest. And today I'm going to ask that you let love wake you gently. Now, yesterday here in Pennsylvania, we had an amazing storm. We had rain, we had sleet, we had snow, and everything blowing horizontally. Don't you wish you'd seen that? It was wonderful to watch from inside. And those of you who needed to go out, God bless you, especially those who took their puppies for a walk. It was exciting. It was wonderful. And it didn't seem very gentle, did it? And yet, then when it was past and the sun came out today, on a brand new day, after moving through our wonderful pop that hour ahead kind of night, and today you'd look around and except for the snow all over the place, you just might not know what the weather was like yesterday. You see things change all the time. That is the condition of the world in which we live. Everything is intended to change. Things come into being and things change. The weather, the seasons, all of it, but God never changes. That holy presence is ever, ever available. I'd like to read to you something that I wish I could give a citation for, but it's one of those things that was written by Anonymous. Somebody said Anonymous must have been a woman. I don't know, but this is how it goes. Whenever you hear or read anything of a spiritual nature that moves you or touches your soul, you are not learning something. You are remembering what you have always known. It is a gentle awakening. I believe in gentle awakenings. I believe in moving sweetly through the transformations of our lives. And isn't that a beautiful goal and intention for us to have? And it is possible. It is not impossible. As we were sharing with the kids, we need to be thinking of at least and believing in at least 6 things every day before breakfast. So, when we awaken at all, it's better than staying asleep, right? We've all experienced rude awakenings, haven't we? And that's not our preference, but we don't necessarily need to have them. We can wake up when we stop resisting it. We can wake up more gently. It's when we resist that it becomes a rude awakening. So did the alarm clock awaken you inconsiderately this morning? You know, in our house, we really don't set alarms because we trust in our inner alarm, our innate knowing that it is time to rise. And we love that. But sometimes, you know, you may have lost an hour, but you gained a whole lot more daylight. Aren't you excited you can go home and start planting once the icy ground loosens up a bit around here? Well, when our awakening is not gentle, keep this in mind. Somehow we survived it, and we probably learned from it. We likely received gifts from it. If we have not yet realized what those gifts are, this might be the time to start asking ourselves, that was a rough time over there, and yet here I am. In fact, I'm probably more so of my true self than I was then, before I moved through that experience and realized that connecting with the power of God moved me through it with grace and ease, or with trembling and shaking, whatever it was. I moved through it, here I am, and I'm better and I'm bigger than I ever was before, in consciousness, that is. So we don't need to do it that way again, but let's get the gifts from it, right? You know, let's look at the birth experience itself. Here we were, very few people remember this, but here we were, all safe and warm in a nice, dark, cozy place for 9 months. Everything was provided for us. We didn't need to think of a thing. We didn't even need to breathe. That hadn't happened yet. And suddenly, our awakening was probably not gentle. You know, we somehow survived it. We learned from it. But what happened in birth was we were pushed, maybe even pulled into this bright light, and it was cold, and it was a noisy environment, and it was shocking. That's what we do. That's just somehow the human condition. But it gets better. You know, we learn to use our lungs, not only for breathing, but for screaming. We find out, and the people all around us who love us understand that we're healthy and happy and good, and everything is fine. And then we're cuddled, and we're fed, and we're cared for, and we get snuggled up in a nice, warm, cozy blankie, and we get to be on our mommy's chests and all the other people who love us, and life begins to get better. Do you know that human beings are the most helpless animals in the world? We are an animal. I mean, our human part is animal too. And so there are so many other, like the chick. The chick pecks its way out of the shell, right? And then it stands there and goes, now what? You know? But it goes and starts running around. The mare drops her foal, and it wiggles around for a while, and it stands up and it starts walking. You know, we don't do that. We're not chicks and we're not horses. And mama bears. You know about mama bears? Do you know that they take such good care of their young? They're just the most loving, wonderful mamas, and don't get near them because they'll make sure that you don't get near their cubs. But then one day when the cub is about 2 years old, the mama climbs up a tree, and the baby bear waits for her to get down. And she just waits until he finally goes off. And she probably never sees him again. Well, we don't do that with our 2-year-olds. We are so dependent upon the adults in our lives. You know, and yet while we're depending on and learning how to navigate, and we're maturing physically and mentally and emotionally, we go step by step. There's something within us, just like that alarm clock that innately wakes us up at our house. There's something within us that tells us how to move forward in our growth. And first of all, of course, that's our physical growth, because one day the baby rolls over. Oh, wow, that's a whole different perspective. And then it sits up, look what I can do. And then it begins to crawl. I don't have to stay in one place anymore. I can move out into my world. And the world suddenly becomes larger for that baby. And then one day it stands up on wobbly little legs. And the next thing you know, it's chasing the cat down the hall, and you're chasing the baby and the cat. This is what we do. We progress step by step by step. And then these little minds are always seeking information because they're trying to figure out how to relate to their worlds. We must understand it in order to get along with it, and then to engage with the world, like the big people we see around us. You see, there is something that is forever bringing us forward. And you know what that something is? That something is God's love. Because it is the divine love that had to express itself and make universes and make our planet and make all the beautiful scenery and the islands and the countries and the seas and the rivers and the mountains and animals and us. That great impulse of love creates everything. And it is that great impulse of love that is within us that moves us forward, even during startling events, shocking events. We are designed to move through we have shock absorbers, divine shock absorbers. And so horrific events in the world, it is so hard for us to understand about violence and greed and unconscionable action. So hard for us to even imagine that. So then we begin to awaken when we're allowing ourselves to experience these human feelings, our great compassion that we have for all of humanity. Then we begin to awaken to whatever good may be coming forth from these events. You see, the situation in Ukraine is actually bringing the world together. This is a true event. It's bringing the world together in so many beautiful ways. I just read about aid from Ireland, which left this past week a convoy of 25 trucks that left Dublin carrying humanitarian supplies on this long, long journey to Ukraine. I've been reading about veterans, American veterans, who are going to Ukraine to help the people. Countries, so many countries in the world are supporting the opportunity for peace to break out in Ukraine. Both physically and spiritually, we're working together. That's the good that's coming out of this, is that we have created an alliance, and it's growing and it's deepening. You know, this truck driving from Dublin, that is even greater than St. Patrick driving the snakes out of Ireland. In fact, it never really happened, but it's a good story, isn't it? This is a real story. This is happening right now. And I'm proud of my Irish heritage. I'm also proud of my Jewish heritage. It's all in there. So individuals and world leaders are stepping up to assist however they may. And divine love and light are surrounding them now, because we, the light workers of this world, are broadcasting our love light. We're doing our deep meditation, prayer, spiritual mind treatment, holding very, very tenderly these beautiful beings in our hearts and knowing through our own imaginary processes, and it begins as being Imagineers. We are Imagineering. We begin by utilizing that wonderful thought force, which is powered by love, to make a difference. You know, Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's the preview of life's coming events. It is the preview of life's coming events. Let me tell you where I discovered that. On this wall over here in the Inspiration Cafe. I'm inspired every corner of this beautiful place from which we send you our messages every Sunday morning. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attraction. Do you get what that means? It means that you and I are projecting our own life's coming attractions. And we have the power and the responsibility, the joyous responsibility of setting into motion life's coming attractions for the world as well. You know, it is possible to move gracefully through our transformations. It is possible to do that. And the more we accept with deep faith that it is possible to move through our transformations gracefully, the more of those transformations will indeed be filled with grace and ease. See, we move intellectually from these limited or erroneous ideas to greater truths. So what we learned as children no longer, in many cases, holds any sway for us as adults now. We have a more adult view of life. We are the children of God, and it's time we became the adults of God. And as we move into this new expanded consciousness, we move from fear to faith. We move through biases that we may have been taught by well-meaning but ill-advised people. We move through biases and false notions and an anthropomorphic God who had a big book in the sky and was judging us and all that. We move to oneness. We move to truth. And we move to the awareness that Spirit is within us and around us, within every sentient being and around every sentient being, and holds us tenderly in a divine embrace. And we can experience that once we let go of all the nonsense and just let ourselves be loved. And letting ourselves be loved allows us to love more freely and more unconditionally every sentient being in this universe, and it is making a difference as we do so. So you see, these fear-based beliefs dissolve with the power of love, because the power of love is the greatest motivating source in the world. So let's wake each other gently to these greater truths. Let's wake each other gently to the love that is within each of us and flowing between us and among all of us. Let's continue to send that love across the world. Let's continue to hold everybody in the divine embrace in which we are being held. It's in remembering who and whose we are that our spiritual awareness empowers us, delights us, transforms us, makes a difference in our own lives and in the world itself. It's essential that you and I call upon a greater power than what we may be seeing out there, a power that is greater than any human condition. It is important, it is essential that we call upon this greater power of divine love within us. It's there. Let's open our hearts to it. Let's invite it. Let's begin to see through the eye of the heart and hear with the ear of the heart. Hear the sweet music of Spirit that sings and sings and sings within us. It's a beautiful song, and we can sing in harmony with every other being in this world. It is also essential, I believe, that we see and honor the divine possibilities within everyone in this whole world. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. That's my mantra right now. Love goes before me and it makes all the crooked places straight. Say that with me now. Love goes before me and it makes all the crooked places straight. You see, it's the most powerful energy in this universe. It's that which brought the universe into being. It's that which flows through your own body, bringing greater health every moment. It's that which moves through your own consciousness, bringing more love and more freedom, more joy, more possibility, more prosperity, more success in every imaginable area. It is the love that is awakening us gently. Let's let it wake us gently and powerfully. Will you say with me, I let love awaken me gently. I invite love to awaken others tenderly. I invite love to awaken others tenderly. I am peacefully aware of my spiritual essence. I am peacefully aware of my spiritual essence. I am an instrument of divine love. And so, my beloveds, beginneth our lesson. Now it is time for our offertory. I love the giving time. And so you are going to see many ways right there on your screen that you can keep the good work of this spiritual center expanding into the world, changing lives, healing hearts, lifting consciousness everywhere. I love to give in the old-fashioned way. It just makes my heart happy. I know there's much more up-to-date ways to give that you're being shown right now. But I like to take my gift in my hand. It reminds me that every good gift comes from God and that I love to give to the closest source of my source, where I receive my spiritual food, and it's right here. And so, will you join me in speaking the prosperity affirmation? I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Talking about that peace. That's right. Set your spirit free, y'all.
If we wanna make a change, be the change we seek. If we get this thing called love, turn the other cheek, spin the world right upside down. Maybe then we'll see another way to be. If we're gonna have this dream, wake to make it real. If we're marching for some peace, start at home with me. If we soothe the war inside to bring some harmony, with a point where it begins. Shanti Amani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace.
Damai Kapaya
That's right. Yeah.
Salanyado.
Set your spirit free, y'all.
Shanti Amani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace.
Damai Kapaya
That's right. Yeah.
Salanyado. Peace. People say it's Judgment Day, time for us to choose. We can win together now, but separately we'll lose. Given to the doubt and fear, we'll show that heaven's here. With every word we say, with every move we make, with every breath we take. Shanti Amani, Pachi Shalom. Damai Kapaya Pawan, Salam Yaro.
Set your spirit free.
Shanti Amani, Pachi Shalom. Damai Kapaya Pawan, Salam Yaro. What the bleep, hey, got it right. With water and with life, what we get is what we think. So bask your mind with light. Focus on a super you. It suits the world of two. Join our peace, love, and fun till the work of peace is done. 'Cause baby, we are one. Shanti Amani, Pachi Shalom. Damai Kapaya Pawan, Salam Yaro.
Set your spirit free.
Shanti Amani, Pachi Shalom. Damai Kapaya Pawan, Salam Yaro.
Set your spirit free.
Shanti Amani, Pachi Shalom. Damai Kapaya Pawan, Salam Yaro.
Set your spirit free.
Shanti Amani,
Come on, y'all, and breathe the peace, yeah. Breathe the love, yeah. Come on, that new perspective. Turn the flame up. Come on out and breathe the light. We love you, light. We love you, light, yeah.
Hello, my name is Payson Burt, and I'm Vice President of your Board of Trustees, and I'm here with today's announcements in the easy chair at the Inspiration Cafe. Welcome, everyone. Yes, we are live streaming from the Inspiration Cafe here in Paoli, and we are thrilled you're tuning in today, wherever you are in the world, Florida, California, Canada, everywhere. In case you missed it, I'd like to take a minute to read Edie Janik's monthly message from the board. Remember, this is the Bot Spot. So welcome to the March Bot Spot. Have you found yourself between two places, warm yet cold, peaceful yet blustery, light yet dark? The evidence of our eternal life surrounds us this time of year in the seasons change. The earth ever so slightly shifting from gray to green, the soil still firm but warming up and loosening to prepare for its next growing adventure, and the angle of the sun offering up a different perspective and experience. That's beautiful, Edie. Thank you. Our beloved Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living is living out its own sort of emergence. As you will recall, we decided to end our lease in the Paoli Corporate Center and return to virtual delivery of Sunday celebrations at the end of January. This decision was based on an in-person Sunday celebration attendance and the flexibility meeting virtually and live streaming has given us. By ending our lease, our expenses are better aligned to our 2022 budget as projected by the Intentional Giving Program. Our center, as are all centers for spiritual living, is self-funded. It is sustained primarily by its member and friend contributions, for which we are so grateful. Now, you may be wondering, If we have no physical location, where does the money I give to GPCSL go? Contributions to GPCSL pay for basic operation costs that allow us to continue our mission of creating a world that works for all and sharing spirituality that works with our communities, near and far. Operating expenses include staff, bookkeeper, office manager, minister, live stream production, building storage, and necessary services like telephone, website support, and things like that. Your intentional giving dollars and or donations otherwise are currently helping us to cover these costs, as well as make in-person events, stay tuned for more of those, marketing, and new GPCSL home for our community makes all this possible. So a big thank you for all of you to do, and wait a minute, I'll start that one again. So a big thank you for all you do. That makes more sense, doesn't it? And give to the center. You are making a difference, truly. Don't hesitate to contact Edie or anyone on the board if you have questions, comments, or suggestions. We love to hear from you. Now, if you are watching us and enjoy our Sunday celebrations and love notes on our Facebook or YouTube channel, please be sure to like, to subscribe, and share with others. When you subscribe, you will receive notices when our Sunday celebration and our daily love notes are uploaded. And although I don't understand it completely, the more you subscribe, the more somehow our numbers go up or something like that. So please do that. Again, we continue to live stream our Sunday celebrations every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Just visit our website, www.cslphilly.org, and click on the orange Watch Live button to see all our virtual love notes and past Sunday celebrations. That's it for today's announcements. I made a big mess to here on the floor, but I'll get out of your way and take it, Dr. Maxine.
Thank you, Jason. It was lovely to see you in that comfy chair.
I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Not gonna let it get me down. Not gonna let it push me over. Not gonna let it run me around. 'Cause I know the truth. I'm too blessed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Doesn't matter what's on the news. You can't make my mind up for me. Ain't gonna hear me sing the blues. 'Cause I know the truth. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Oh, I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Don't you know I'm so blessed?
Oh, Karen, thank you so much. I love that. And I said earlier, but you didn't hear me, that Karen is just one of our favorite musical artists. Just beautiful work she does. And the reason you didn't hear me say that was that my mic had, the battery in my mic had decided to transform itself into nothingness. But I'm too blessed to be stressed. So guess what? I have another microphone. Isn't that good? There's always a way. Thank you for joining us today. It's been wonderful to connect with you. It always is. We look forward to every event coming up, whether it's virtual or, before too long, some in person as well. So stick around. We love you dearly. So this is what I know, that as we go forward, there is a consciousness of joy and love that goes before us, and we find ourselves allowing the transformative power of Spirit to do its perfect work within us and within the world. And so it is.